What's going on, guys? Chris Robinson here. In today's video, we're gonna pretty much be talking about business credit. Now, I know I've did videos like this before in the past. However, this video is going to be a little more detailed, in which I will give you a step-by-step guide on how to build your business credit. So this video is pretty much designed for anyone who has a business and want to establish their business credit, or even if you haven't even started yet, but you're interested in starting a business and wanting to build this business credit. However, if you're focused on establishing your business, this will also be a great fit video for you. I know I do a majority of my videos when it comes to credit is related to personal credit. But in today's video, we'll talk about business credit and all the good things about it. This video is brought to you by Impact.com, which is one of my businesses, more of a B2B type business that I operate. A lot of you, if you're returning viewers, you know about DIY Credit Boost, which focus on helping individuals with their personal credit. But in this case, Impact is a B2B business. DIY Credit Boost is a B2C business. Now, I'll go into a little more details about Impact, but it's not just about helping you with your business credit at Impact. Now, anything related to business in general and helping your business grow, if you visit my website at impact.com, you can pretty much we can pretty much find any tools or necessary steps or consultancy that will be able to provide to you in order to help your business grow. But in today's video, today's topic is about building your business credit. So let's actually jump into the details. So let's talk about the agenda, right? So our agenda for this video are the topics that we would need to cover is, of course, the importance of business credit. Now, most people who have a business, they want their business credit, but it's very important and essential to know why. Know your why, right? You always got to understand why you want something or you need something, whatever the case may be. So we'll first figure out the importance of business credit, right? Understanding these whys will really help you understand what you need to grow and things like that. Also, the credit bureaus for businesses, right, will pretty much scrape the surface of who these companies are and who we need to focus on when it comes to building our business credit. Also, there's 8 essential steps, right? It could be a little bit more. Some of us probably wouldn't even need some of the steps, but there's 8 essential steps to building your business credit, and we'll break down the details of each one of those steps. And also going back to that why these steps are important, right? Of course, I can easily talk to you and make a video going through the details of what you need to do and what you should do, but you also need to understand why you should and need to do these things, right? So that's always important to understand your why. Also, we'll talk a little bit about net 30s, right? Most of us know what a net 30 is, but we'll scrape the surface of what that is because it is essential to building your business credit. And also lastly, we'll talk about the 7 starter accounts to get your business started. I know it says 7 here, but I did add 2 more extra bonus accounts on that list, but I didn't go in there and change the details. But for the most part, expect 9 accounts that we'll talk about today. But we'll eventually get to all that very shortly. All right. So let's talk about the importance, right? The importance of business credit, right? Why is it important, right? Why is business credit important, right? Building business credit helps secure loans and better vendor terms, right? Of course, if you want to get a loan for your business, of course, you need that business credit. That's self-explanatory, pretty logical. But it's not just about getting a loan, right? You also want good terms when it comes to these loans, right? We all know with our personal credit, if you have bad credit, you still have possibilities of getting loans, but your interest would be high and things like that. But when it comes to business, it's pretty similar. However, the terms when it comes to business is a lot better than the personal side, in my personal opinion. I always like to emphasize the importance if you're business minded. I always emphasize the importance of using your business credit over your personal credit. And a lot of you probably heard that in some of my videos. But having business credit does allow you to get better terms when it comes to these loans or these line of credits. And also, it improves your company's financial reputation, right? So whenever you want to seek these loans and get these finances, of course, they when they pull your credit, it helps establish your financial reputation, things like that. But it's also important to know that establishing business credit allows you to protect and separate your personal assets from your business financial liabilities, right? So, we'll talk a little bit more about that. But if you ever heard about a personal guarantor, that's where that person will get attached to the business. But it's very important to establish your business credit to make it separate, right? And we'll go into a lot more details about that. But for the most part, we do need to understand that it's important when you have a business to keep your personal finances separated from your business finances. All right, so who is the credit bureaus for the businesses, right? I did a video on this before about the history of credit, and the interesting thing is that Duns and Bradstreet is the starter of the credit system. Even the personal credit systems that we see today, it all started with Duns and Bradstreet. I could go into details about that, but I'll probably tag the link to that video if you're interested. But Duns and Bradstreet was the first ever credit reporting agency out there, in which it was initially established for businesses. So Duns and Bradstreet is like a legend within the credit game, but it still stands to this day. So it's very essential that we establish our credit history with Duns and Bradstreet. We'll go to the details about that. Also, Equifax and Experian. We all know these credit bureaus from our personal credit, but they also provide business credit history as well. And you can see the score ranges there. And lastly, you have the Credit Safe. And if you you can read some of the details. Credit Safe, a global business credit reporting agency, things like that. And it's important that we establish a good credit profile with these 4 credit bureaus when it comes to our business. All right, so here's the 8 steps, right? The 8 steps to building our business credit. Of course, we'll go through each one of these topics, but let's talk about it, right? Let's talk about what we will talk about. So establishing a legal entity by registering your business with the Secretary of State. That's step number 1, right? So if you don't have your business registered, you can always operate your business without registering with the state. But if you don't have your business registered, you can say goodbye to establishing your business credit, because most lenders and even if you want to get a DUNS number, you will not be able to start building your business credit without having your business registered with the state, right? So if you want a bank account, right? If you want a DUNS number, if you want to get loans, right? If you're not registered, then you can say goodbye to even being considered for that credit, right? Or for that bank account. So first and foremost, we need to understand the process of registering our business with our state's local Secretary of State. Step number 2, getting a business phone number and physical address. So keep in mind, some of these things are self-explanatory, but some of us are thinking, why do I need this? Why do I need that? But eventually we will get to that why, right? Like I said, I'll explain the why these are important as we go through the slides, but it's important to know what these steps are from the jump. So next, of course, this is your meat and potatoes of developing or building your business credit, is that you need an EIN number as well as a DUNS number, right? So that's mandatory, right? That's mandatory when it comes to building your business credit. You need those two. Next, you also need to open a business bank account. I know a lot of us, most of us, a majority of us have personal bank accounts or personal checking accounts, but it's very essential that you separate those assets and open you up a business bank account. The next step would be to launch a business website. Now, I know I said if needed. Now, I can't imagine a business in today's time that don't need a website. So in many cases, I mean, of course, there's some people who operate very well without the website, but in my personal opinion, I kind of believe that it is mandatory, but I'm not biased in this case. So I put the if needed there, and then eventually we'll explain why if you don't already understand why a business website is important. Now, step number 6, right? Setting up accounts. Setting up net 30 vendor accounts, right? And we'll talk about the difference between the net accounts and things like that, and the net vendors. And then next we'll talk about applying for business credit cards, right? And we'll talk about how you can apply for business credit cards if you from day one and when you first start your business. And we'll talk about how you can or when should you apply for those business credit cards and how you should apply for those business credit cards as well. And the last step is we'll talk about monitoring your business credit reports, right? Where you can monitor your business credit reports and how you can monitor those business credit reports. But eventually we will get to all of it. All right, so first step, right? Let's just jump right into it. First step is establishing a legal business entity. Now, the most common, of course, since the most common for establishing your business is sole proprietorship, which many people do. It is kind of old fashioned. The most common nowadays would be the LLC, right? So it's been pretty much shifting from the sole proprietorship to the LLC because people starting to realize the benefits of an LLC, right? Remember how I talked about it's important and essential to separate your assets, your personal assets, from your business assets, and establishing an LLC can protect you in those aspects. We also have corporations and there are other, partnerships and things like that. But I did videos about the different types, about the different types of business structures. So I'll try to tag that video as well. We won't go into a lot of details, but just to play it safe, the most common, if you haven't established your business already, and this is only for those people who just getting started, LLC is the most common and where most people will start or should start, right? Next on the list. Now let's just backtrack a bit, right? I could explain, in details on how you can get these business registered, but every state is different, so I would not be allowed to cover that in this video. But once again, there's always help you can seek, right? You can seek help. There's companies out there in your state that can help you register your business. Me at impact.com, we can help you and figure out what it is that you need to register your business or get your business established. But there is help out there, right? And also law firms, they do assistance like this and things like that. But if anything, impact.com, my website at impact.com, we can help you get started and things like that. But just know that you will register your business with the Secretary of State, right? Even if it's not the Secretary of State website in many states that you'll register with, just know that that's how you establish your business or register your business, right? You need to be certified through the Secretary of State. And every state have their different processes, their different fees that they require, certifications, licenses, and things like that. So I won't be able to cover that in detail, but just know that the Secretary of State is where you'll get that. And many people find different states, there's benefits in different states when it comes to taxation and things like that. But that's a topic for another video. Just know that there's help out there if you haven't even got to this point yet. Next on the list, right? Step 2, getting a business phone number and physical address. Now, I labeled this as step 2 for a reason. Now, if you have your business, you do need to at least have your baseline, and your baseline is having your phone number and your address, your contact information, how people can reach out to you, right? We'll talk a little bit about emails and things like that, but at least the phone number and the address of your business is very important, because when you register your business, they will ask for the phone number and they will ask for the address. And just to keep in mind, I know I put in avoid PO boxes, but when you register your business, most states, if I'm not mistaken, if not all, will not allow you to register your business with a PO box. Now, you could probably receive mail and things like that, but you can't establish or have your business register under a PO box. Now, I do know that many PO boxes offer real addresses, but in most cases, they will realize that most emails are coming from a post office, right? So I would say avoid it at all costs, and also avoid using your personal home address. Now, in today's day and ages, having your personal information out there is not safe, and even if it's registered your business, you feel like you operate out of your home, right? I don't advise that you use your personal address. Now, I do advise that you use a virtual business address, and there's plenty of them out there in which you can receive mail and things like that. You can use it as your physical location or your mailing location. So I do advise that you do some research about what virtual address works best for you. And for most of my businesses, I always use the virtual address. I did have a business in the past, and I made a mistake and put my personal, and not knowing that when people search up your business, they will see the addresses there, and if your personal address there, just imagine if somebody just want to just you blow up on the internet or your business expands and people find your address, and it'll put you in some dangerous situations there. Now, if of course you can use your personal phone number. Now, I don't know, people have different perspectives when it comes to using their personal phone number. Now, I'm the type of person who do not advise using your personal phone number, right? Now, it would be difficult to separate your personal calls or your personal contacts from your business calls and business contacts. Now, if you have an iPhone, and I'm sure Android phones do it, but they have allow you to put multiple numbers on one phone. You can always do that. You can always open up a new line with your current carrier and label that as your business number. And that way, when you get the calls, you'll label it. It'll say business, or you have it as one is personal, one is business. And I do that for one of my phones. I have the personal line, and then the business line, and then I'll be able to determine which phone number I'm getting those calls from. But I mean, if you don't want to go that route, there's alternatives, right? Which is Google Voice. Now, Google Voice is free, right? You can set up an account and establish your phone number and things like that and use Google Voice. I always advise people starting out to use those Google products, especially Google Workspace, which allows you to have a business email address, but it also comes along with all the benefits of having a Google account and things like that, but for your business. Now, it does cost a fee. The cheapest is about $6, but in my personal opinion, I think it's well worth it because it allows you to establish your business email, have a business phone number, all these great things, business YouTube, whatever Google provides, you'll have it specific for your business. Now, I could say that now the carrier, I started like that, but I eventually transferred my Google Voice number into my carrier, in which I use my carrier as I have a business account with my carrier. Now, I originally had AT&T, and when I transferred the number, I transferred into AT&T, which was my business account with AT&T, and then now I use T-Mobile as my business account carrier. And I'm still using that same number that I transferred from Google Voice. So you can always transfer that number later, which is okay. But if you're just starting out, if you need to right now get you a separate number for free, Google Voice, right? Google Voice, get you a Google Voice number, and you can set up your voicemails and things like that. And also save those voicemails and things like that, etc., etc. But if you want to know why, of course, business phone numbers and address give your business credibility. Now, when people look you up and you giving them your personal phone number or even your personal address, they might not take you that serious, right? They may not think that you have your stuff together when it comes to your business. So having those things established will allow you to gain some type of credibility. All right, step number 3, right? I know we got a couple more after this, but we get into it. So, just take the notes as you go along and pretty much stay tapped in because there will be some interesting stuff. And if you're here for the credit part of it, stick tight for that. We will get to that step. That's closer to the end of this lecture, but eventually we will get to that. I just want to make sure that we're doing the things the right way. Of course, a lot of people will tell you things and how you should do things, but I'm going to tell you the right exact steps that you should take, steps that I've taken, steps that I advise others to take, and it allows all of us to be successful within these areas. But without that being said, step number 3, like I mentioned, is the meat and potatoes of the whole credit process of building your credit. That is obtaining an EIN number, right, or an employer identification number from the IRS. Now, I did have this link here. If you were following along, you could probably copy or use this link or type out this link to get your EIN started if you haven't already. I know most of us already know how to get our EINs. Some of us probably already have it, but if you don't, this would be where you need to start, right? And then you'll be able to get your EIN same day. Just make sure you download it, save it, all those great things. Or you might have a difficult time retrieving that EIN number. Now, of course, we use our EIN number to build our credit, but also when it comes to filing your taxes, they will always ask you for your EIN number, right? And if you don't have your EIN number, you wouldn't be allowed to file taxes for your business. Now, next on the list, we have Duns and Bradstreet's, in which they provide you a Duns number. Now, we talked about registering your business. Now, with Duns and Bradstreet, if your business is not registered with the Secretary of State, they will not provide you a DUNS number. So first and foremost, the reason why having your business established is number one is because many companies do not provide services to businesses without being registered through the state, and things like that. So if your business is established, if you don't have that your business registered with the state, Duns and Bradstreet will not provide you a DUNS number. So you need to make sure you have that. Now, also, it's important to know that this DUNS number is crucial for reporting business credit. Like I said, they are the trendsetters of the credit game. So many lenders look to the Duns and Bradstreets, and a lot of your credit information or your business information and profiles and everything that's related to your business is provided on there. So it also is a system to clarify your business identity, things like that. But it's important that we have at least these two if we really want to get our business credit established and built. Now, step number 4 is opening a business bank account, right? Of course, we talked about keeping your personal assets or personal finances separated from your business assets. And this is the most essential thing you need to do is open you up a business bank account. Of course, I mean, if you feel comfortable with your personal account, that's okay. But when it comes to filing your taxes or when it comes to getting lending and things like that, a lot of these lenders will look through these bank accounts and try to determine what is, and in most of the cases, they don't want to try to determine what is personal, what is business. So if you have opened up your own business bank account, you wouldn't have that confusion there. But it's important to know that opening a dedicated business bank account would allow you to streamline your transactions, right? So when it comes to getting funding, they'll be able to see how your spending habits and your incomes, your inputs and outputs and things like that. And it helps, and it's very essential for many lenders, most lenders, especially if you're trying to get business or get a line of credit or a loan without having business credit established. This is the best way. The only way you can really go with it is not the only way, but the best way to go with it if you don't want to add your personal information to that business loan or line of credit. Now, there's many of them out there, and there's many of them I use, but my two favorite is Chase, as well as Blue Vine. Blue Vine is number 1 on my list. That's probably one of my favorite business bank accounts, but I've been using Chase for years. Even from my first business that I established back in like 2012, I used Chase. Now, Chase has their benefits, but Blue Vine has a lot of benefits that's aligned with my goals or my business and personal goals. So I strongly advise using one or the other, especially if you have a Chase account already. That's be perfectly great just to go up there and open you up a bank account. But once again, you need to have your business registered. If your business is not registered with the state, Chase will not allow you to open a bank account. And the same with Blue Vine. If your business is not registered, they will not allow you to open up a bank account. And that goes for any other bank account that you try to open for your business. If your business is registered, they will ask for your articles of registration, or the articles, your business articles. If you don't have that, then they won't be able to register or to open you up an account. Now, the interesting thing about Chase, I did do a video about getting a business credit card, the Chase Inc. Business card. So I'll tag that video in this a link to that video as well. So if you're interested in opening a Chase account, I'll also give you the details on how you can get approved for the Chase business card as well. But I know I jumped ahead, but let's actually talk about step number 5. So step number 5, right? I talked about how it was optional, but my personal opinion, I think that it is mandatory, right? You do need to launch a business website. Now, like I said, I can't imagine any business in today's time that wouldn't need a website. Now, if you know that, put it in the comments below, prove me wrong, right? And I'm sure there's probably some out there, but in my mind, I cannot, right? Maybe because that's where I'm wired and where my focus and experience is at. But I believe creating a professional website will help you improve your business legitimacy. Now, just think about it for a minute. Like when you go out and you tell people you have a business and things like that, um, you can always give a business card and give them down the details, but some people don't have the time to listen, or some people probably don't understand you, the way that you present your business. Now, if you have a business website, you can always say, go to my website, and people will do their research off your website based off their own intellect, right? Like I mentioned, Impact. So I know some of us will probably go to impact.com, right? I probably told you what some of Impact, what we offer at impact.com, but if you really want to know what's offered, you'll go to the website and you'll go through the details and really see, okay, this business is legit, right? And it's also the best way to include like what you have to offer, your services or your products. Also, if people want to reach out to you or contact you and things like that, it's also the best source for that, right? So including all this essential information will pretty much develop your brand and establish you as a professional, legitimate business. Now, some things I do suggest when it comes to getting a domain, right? So if you don't have a website, you got to get your domain right away. So many people is developing their websites. Some people might have the same business name as you or something similar, but getting that domain right off the top, even if you don't know how to make a business website, or if you don't know where to start, but getting that domain right off the top is very essential so that no one would take it. And it also establishes your branding and things like that. Now I know this can be a big topic, and I'll save it for another video. But if you're someone who need a custom website, or if you need a specific website for what you have to offer for your business, but do not have one, of course, visit us at impact.com, or you can email us at help@impact.com, and we can get you started with getting you a website. But other than that, there's many other ways that you can go about with getting your website. But if you want some professional help, then reach out. I'll look out for you. Reach out. We'll get you set up for your website. Now, it won't be for free. Of course, it is my business. So, but I will work some great stuff with you, and get you set up right and nice. All right. Step number 6, right? Setting up Net30 vendor accounts, right? So establishing Net30 accounts with vendors like Uline, which is very old. Like I said, I had a business back in 2012. And I've been receiving catalogs from them for years, right? But of course they have their websites and things like that. And if you sign up today, you will get a line of credit. The same with Quill. But it's important that you have your EIN as well as your DUNS number when you signing up. That way you will be able to establish your credit history. Now there's many others, right? But these are some of the top ones. And just for example, a couple days ago, I actually bought me a new printer from Quill, right? You'll be able to get your line of credit. You can purchase things. And a Net30 allows you 30 days to pay it back, right? So you can get things right then and now, and then 30 days later you have to pay it in full. But it's important to know what Net30s are. There's also different terms like the Net15, the Net45, the Net60, and there's some companies that offer more, and there's some companies that offer less. Now, but keep in mind, whenever you see that number, that means how many days you have to pay it in full. It's not like a traditional credit card where you have time to make payments each month, or a minimum payment. But your minimum payment when it comes to a net account is paying it in full, whatever terms you have signed up with. But of course, the Net30 is the most common, and most people are familiar with the Net30s. So just know that if you have a Net30 account and you make a purchase, you got a credit line of $10,000, just know that you have 30 days to pay that $10,000 back. And making those on-time payments do allow you to build your credit history. But it's very essential to get your business credit started, right? It's very important. And we'll go through a couple of my top favorite Net30 accounts, which you can set up. But first, let's talk about the business credit cards, right? So when it comes to applying for business credit cards, right, there's several ways you can go about with it. But if you started your business today, or if you have no business credit, you just got your EIN, whatever the case may be, the best way you can do it if you want to get business credit cards right away is using your personal credit. Now, you do have to have good personal credit in order to be approved for many of these of these credit cards. And now, if you have a history with your business, right, and if you don't want to attach your personal information with the credit card and things like that, which is also known as, well, you would be known as a personal guarantor. Um, you do have to have established business history, right? You got to have your history already established, or you might have need like a bank account statements to prove that how your business is operating, your income, and your expenses, right? Um, and that's the only way to really separate those two, right? Now, once again, like I said, if you have good personal credit, you can start applying for any business credit card that you're interested in, that you want your business to have. And that's the best way for you to get approved. Now, not saying that all these companies will require or will stay attached to your personal credit. Now, many credit card companies do not report the history to your personal credit, right? They just use your personal credit as a leverage to really see if your credit see your credit worthiness, and then they only report that history with the business credit bureaus, right? Now I could say not, but in the case of if it's a default account, right? So if you default on the account, it's not to say that they will not report it on your personal history afterwards, just because you use your personal information as a personal guarantor. And many of the contracts will tell you, right? It may not report to the your personal history, but if it may be in their terms that they say we may report it to your personal history if it is defaulted, right? Or if it's a charge-offs account, or if it goes to collection and things like that, it will report the bad history, right? So be careful in that aspect. And also read those terms and those contracts when you do sign up to really understand why. And some of my suggestions, if you want to get started right away, is the Chase. Like I said, I got a video. I'll link that as well if you're interested in getting that Chaser card, and American Express, right? So of course, those are some of the most common most people know about. But trust me, if you can get a hold of those cards, you will see some very great benefits with those two companies. Now, like I mentioned, if you don't want to be added as a personal guarantor or a personal guarantee, there's some ways around it, right? Now, Sam's Club, they do offer their credit cards, right? There's a Sam's Club store card. It's still business based, and there's also a Sam's Club Mastercard, in which you can use anywhere. But they don't require a personal guarantor. Now, um, and also they report only to your business credit reports. Now, I did do a video on how you can get approved. I know there's a lot of videos out there, but I've been I have a Sam's Club for several businesses that I have, and I help so many people get this card. And there's always been those topics where people say, "How did you get approved for this card? I've been applying for so long, and this and that." So there's many things that you need to know when it comes to applying for this card. And I know those steps and those tactics based off my experience, and as well as my communication with Synchrony Bank, right? So many times I always got on the phone and understand and try to really understand the process. So you can also watch that video, or hit me up in the comments or whatever the case may be. And we'll help you out in that aspect. Now, there's also another company, Ramp, and it was Bricks. They offer credit lines of credit and credit cards with no PG. However, I could say with these two, if you don't have a business bank account with income proof showing proof of your income, in a lot of cases they will not approve you for a line of credit, but they do have programs in which you can make payments or build up a secure loan or a secured account in order to build that history with them. But they will not report to your personal credit and things like that. And it's also important to know that a lot of these applications, you will have to provide your personal information, but that's only because they're trying to verify the business owner with the business and things like that. So just keep in mind, if you do sign up for Sam's Club and all these different companies that offer these lines of credit or these credit cards without a personal guarantee or a guarantor, They will ask you for your personal information, but that's only for verification purposes. But once again, I'll link that video, and then haven't got a chance to get the other two talk about the other two or the other three companies yet. But eventually, I'll get around to those videos and give you guys a spill on the successes there. All right, step number 8. I know I said there was 8 steps. This is the last step within the process, but we're not done yet. But we want to know how we can monitor our business credit reports. Now, I always advise people to start with a nav.com account. So create your nav.com account. It is free. And the great thing about nav.com, and I'll talk about it in some following slides, but it also another platform to help you build your business credit as well, help you monitor your credit, help you it'll help you find credit cards, business loans, and you could be able to attach your business bank accounts, and also have the section for your personal credit reports as well. So it's an all-in-one shop for personal finance. But I strongly advise people sign up with the free account at least to really see your reports and things like that. Now they do have Experian. Experian is probably one of the most common in today's time with a lot of lenders now. So building your Experian credit reports is very important. Now nav.com provides all these reports in one, but you can always have your separate accounts. Now the Experian business account, it is a fee, right? And I pay an annual fee for it because I know the importance of Experian, but it's not suggested for everyone. But if you really want to know your Experian reports and more details, I will suggest that you will to sign up with an Experian account. Also, you have the Duns and Bradstreet. We talked about that when you apply for a Duns number. You set up your accounts and things like that. There's different sections where you can see your reports. You can update your business information. All these great things with the Duns, and they also offer a pay. It is free to sign up with Duns and Bradstreet, but they also offer a free plan which they can help you build your credit report, your credit history, and things like that. And also, you have Equifax, who also offer the similar options, but it's a little more. It's not straight. Equifax is not straightforward like the other few, but you can always see your Equifax reports on the nav.com account in that aspect. So now that covers our steps but now we need to know why these things are important, right? So of course we got to understand why I talked about these things and went through it in this frame, right? In this order, right? Of course, when it comes to establishing a business entity, this allows you to protect your personal assets and increase your credibility, right? So, of course, you can talk about you having a business, but some people won't take you serious if you're not even registered with the Secretary of State, right? And in most cases, that will be lenders, right? They won't take you serious if your business not even registered, right? How could we even trust giving you money when you don't even have this business registered with the Secretary of State, or we can't even look this business up within the state systems, right? But why is a phone and address is important? I know I went through some details, but establishing these two are important because it establishes legitimacy for your credit applications. Now they do a verification system, right, with these applications, just like they will with your personal information, and they try to verify your business phone number and verify your business address. In many cases, with these lenders, if they don't align, right, then they will automatically deny you, even if you have some type of good reporting stuff on your business reports. But just because that's your business address and phone number is not consistent, a lot of times that will knock you out of the application process. Now, a professional website. Why is a professional website? Like I said, I can't imagine a business without a website in today's time. But it establishes your professional image, it increases your credibility, and it allows direct access to your business and what you have to offer for your business. Now, the EIN and DUNS number is self-explanatory. I mean, why would even you go through the process of building or watching this video or building your business credit if you don't have neither of the two? Now, you do need your EIN and you do need your DUNS number in order to establish your business history, right? And also when it comes to filing your taxes, you want these tax breaks and all these things when it comes to benefits, when it comes to taxes, you do need your EIN number. And so that's very important there. Now, a bank account, right? A bank account. I can't stress it enough. Separating your personal assets from your business assets, or your personal finance from your business finances, right? Very essential to keep those separated, right? Because as we know, I did a video about it. The success rate of businesses. Most businesses don't last after 5 years, right? But most specifically, too, the majority of all businesses fail after 2 years, like 65% on the last research that I've done, right? And then the numbers just go up from there. Now, if you can last 10 years, then you are golden business. But most businesses don't last the first 2 years, right? So with that being said, if your business fail and you've been putting all your eggs in one basket, then that ties you with the business failure, right? So if you only have a personal bank account, you've been using that, or whatever the case may be, whenever you have business expenses, or if your business go bankrupt, or you fail with your business, it's always going to be tied to back to your personal finances. So it'd be difficult for you to just pack up and move on to a next venture or the next step of your life, because you didn't put all your eggs in one basket. All right, so here are my top picks. I know most of you probably were just waiting for this, or you might even just skip to this part of the video, but whatever the case may be, these are my top vendors that I suggest that you try to sign up with for your credit reports, right? And I'll explain in each one of these, I'll go through the details of who they report to and things like that. But first and foremost, a NAV Prime account, right? So we talked about nav.com, but establishing a NAV Prime account and paying monthly or even quarterly would be a great way to get your business profiles established with all the credit bureaus. So they worked with all the major credit bureaus for your business, and they'll help you establish those. And they try to report it in different alternative trade lines just to make your credit profiles look great. But it does start reporting those accounts after a few months or so, which helps you get trade lines attached to your business. And like I said, you can pay a monthly fee or quarterly fee, and then also whenever you see those updates, you'll be able to see it through nav.com. Also, Fair Figures, right? So I did a video on Fair Figures talking about the one of the best ways to really start your credit, and they have the similar alternatives for you, just like nav. You make a small fee, monthly fee, and they'll start reporting that as a trade line to help build your business credit, right? And they also report to the major business credit bureaus, right? And they also allow you to get a credit card through them. They also allow you to give you a score like specific to the like your. They give you your business credit report scores, but they also have a score for their own system in which they can give you a line of credit or get you a credit card and things like that. So that's my number two on the list for those reasons. Now we talked about Uline, which is a Net30 account, right? This is probably most people, if you haven't, this is probably one of the first Net30s you probably signed up with. But they offer supplies like packing supplies, janitorial supplies, and so many things that you just have to go on the website and look. But it's all business based, all business related, and the many supplies that you may need for your business. This would be a great account to sign up with. You never know, you might get on there, and you may say, oh dang, everything my business need is on here, right? And they also report to Experian as well as Duns and Bradstreet. You also have the Quill. Like I said, I use Quill. I just got a new printer, or another one. I have several, but I just got another printer about a week ago. And they offer office supplies, things like that. But they report to Duns and Bradstreet. Uh, Also, you have Summa Office Supplies, which is another Net30. They offer mailings, supplies, and office supplies and things like that. And they report to Equifax as well as Experian. And next on the list, we have the gas card, right? I did a video about this Shell's Fleet gas card. This is a great card, whether if you have a rental business or whatever the case may be. But in my personal opinion, it's just a great card to have just to help build your business credit. Now, if you have a vehicle, of course, you can use this card to gas your vehicle up on many occasions, just to help build your history within that area. But it is a different trade line, and you do want to work on your credit mix as well just like you'll work on your credit mixed with your personal credit. And this is a great card to have. And it also does not require a personal guarantor. And just keep in mind, all these accounts that I mentioned before do not require a personal guarantor. But the reason why I said it, because it is an actual credit card. I specify no personal guarantor. But I could say that not everybody will get approved, right? I did get approved. I have a video about it, about how you get approved, how much, and things like that. I'll attach that video as well. But sometimes they may offer you a secure credit card, right, in which you have to make a down payment, then you operate until you graduate from the secure card to a unsecured card. Now, many people, might get lucky and get approved right away, but those are the options. But they do report to Duns and Bradstreet, Experian, as well as Equifax. Next on the list, we have Business T-Shirt Club, right? It's also a Net 30, and they allow you to have custom appeal for your business or whatever case may be. But they report to Equifax as well as Credit Safe. Also, we have the Home Depot commercial credit card, right? If I'm not mistaken, this card is only specific to Home Depot. It's more of a store card, right? I do know they have their different credit cards, but based off my experience, it is a store card for me. And whatever Home Depot have to offer, that's where you will be allowed to use your card there. And it also does not require a PG. And they do report to the some of the majors, right? The Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, as well as Equifax. And lastly, Sam's Club, right? Like I said, I got a video on that, and that can help you get approved for that. But I always advise individuals to have them a Sam's Club account as well as a Sam's Club card, right? And they have the store card, and they have the MasterCard, if I'm not mistaken. I did have a little typo here. I probably didn't change the details there, but Sam's Club, whatever Sam's Clubs have to offer, right, is that's what you can get. And we all know Sam's Club have many things they have to offer, right? And they also do not require a personal guarantor. They do report to Experian as well as Equifax, and if I'm not mistaken, they also reports to Duns & Bradstreet. But I haven't checked my Duns & Bradstreet report in a while to really see if the Synchrony Bank reports to them. Now, there's so many different accounts that I could suggest here, but see, these are some of my favorites. And there's also other gas cards I got approved for that I didn't mention, and other Net 30s and things like that. But these are some of my favorites, and my personally the most easiest to get started with establishing your business credit. Like I said, you can watch my video on about Fair Figures, the Shell's Fleet gas card, and as well as the Sam's Club. And I also have another video about another gas card that I did. I'll try to attach some of those there. But I haven't got along with making videos for the rest. But I do personally use most of these here. Also, I have an account for every one, but not all of them I use so frequently. Most specifically the Net 30s. But I do have, accounts with all of these individual accounts, and I could say they're very helpful and essential to establishing, building, rebuilding your business credit. So I strongly advise that you get started with any of those. Now, I know I can go in a lot more details with each one of these accounts. Now, I'll probably save that for another video. This video is stretching along pretty long, and I appreciate everyone who stayed along through the video and watched through the whole thing. But that's it. That's all the information I have. Like I said, I'll try to make a separate video about each one of these Net 30s, these credit cards, things like that. But if you have any questions, be sure to put them in the comment section. Don't be afraid to ask your questions. Also, make sure we like the video. Make sure we like this video. Make sure we subscribe if we haven't already. I did notice that the large proportion of my viewers are not subscribed. I've been making these videos for years, and so many people watch my videos. But I could say that 90% of you are coming back. It says that a lot of you are returners, but most of you don't subscribe. But at least show your support in some way by subscribing, liking the videos. Like I said, if you need any help with getting your business established, developing your business credit, anything business related, go visit the website at impact.com, or you can email us at help@impact.com. And that's on the business aspect. Now, if you need personal assistance with your personal credit, things like that, DIYcreditboost.com. I hope you find this video interesting. Once again, don't forget to subscribe, man. Y'all slacking right now. Don't forget to subscribe. Like I said, 90% of y'all who watch my videos are not subscribed, and if I'm not mistaken, about 80% of those are returning viewers, right? So make sure we subscribe, show your support, and I see you guys in the next video. Comment whatever questions you may have. Ask me whatever next video you want me to elaborate on, and we'll get to it. I see you guys in the next one. Peace.